Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So in front of us is the latest generation for the Mercedes Benz AMG G63. This is finished off in emerald green metallic, and we are going to start off with what powers this G Wagon. So we need to find the hood release, which is all the way in the back. And underneath the hood, you will find the 4-liter twin turbo V8. This is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission. It pumps out a whopping 577 horsepower, 627 pound-feet of torque, sent through that 4MATIC all-wheel drive system, propelling this 5,800-pound SUV from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Top speed is 149 with the AMG driver's package. And for fuel economy, you're looking at 13 miles per gallon in the city, 15 on the highway. Not all that impressive, but you have a lot of performance. So if you're buying this, MPG is not on your list of necessities for the G Wagon. Now for the exterior styling, personally, I love this design. Not as boxy as the last generation, but still retains a similar look. Massive Mercedes Benz logo right in the middle with a forward-facing camera. Another Mercedes Benz badge on the hood there. Really cool trim accents in the grille that match this bull bar. There's cutouts in the lower section with all of the parking sensors, and then the LED headlight housings where the turn signals are actually separated on both sides on the top there. Extremely distinctive, especially with the hood. No other vehicle has this amount of space separating the hood. Usually the hood goes all the way over to the front quarter panel, but this has a distinctive look to it, so you're not going to mistake the G Wagon. Now for the side, massive set of 22-inch wheels with the large AMG brakes. We have some chrome accents on the fixed running boards too. This has dual exit on both sides for that exhaust system. Body colored side mirrors with the turn signal camera system. And then a cool trim accent that runs right at the height of the door handles. Kind of makes the door handles blend in a little bit nicer. But we have that boxy basically designed for this. Full-size spare with the cover currently on it, backup camera, all the sensors. This can tow right around 6,500 pounds too. So it's a pretty capable utility type of vehicle. You could take this off-road too if you really wanted to. But as we look at the rear cargo space, there's a grab handle where you can close it and a decent amount of space. It's not quite as deep as some other SUVs, but nonetheless, it still makes this practical. You can fold the seats down and you have a large height there. My favorite feature is how those close. Sounds like a military vehicle with that latch system. And as we look at the passenger seats, we have wood trim, Burmester audio, some of that brown leather. These are even heated seats too. And at 5'10", it's pretty easy to hop into the back where I have a good amount of room for my legs. I have 4 or 5 inches till I get to the Alcantara headliner, so very spacious and roomy. Climate adjustments are in the middle. There's also an armrest with cup holders if you need to use them, and there's a cutout too, so you can get through to the back if you need to do that for whatever reason, and plenty of space. The windows are massive, so it gives it a lot of light for this interior. Now for this door panel, everything's the same. We have all the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, heated and ventilated, all of the memory seating adjustments and controls, same audio there. And then the beautiful seats. AMG is an illuminating badge too, which is nice to see. And then the steering wheel has a combo of solid and perforated leather, flat bottom design to it. We have cruise and adaptive cruise, volume, tuning, along with Bluetooth and voice commands. And then both of these are identical controls. On the left for the gauge cluster, on the right for the infotainment system. So let's fire this up so we can go through all of that info. Currently, I have the gauge cluster set up in the sport display. So there are a few different settings that you can go into based on what you would like for this. So if I go into the home icon, you can scroll through all this information, look at your performance, your navigation. You have the radio, there's your phone, and then under designs is where you can change this. So you can go to classic, which makes it look a little bit more analog, even though it is digital. And then you can go through the other ones if you'd like to. Not a ton of information located within here, but it's nice that you have all that to go through. And I can even scroll over to the far right and then go through even more information within that tack there. So it gives you a good amount that is easily accessible. This also has paddle shifters too, finished off in brushed aluminum. On the left side, lane keeping assist with the parking sensors, all of your headlight adjustments, and the e-brake. What's interesting to note too is that this is not a touchscreen system. So you can use the controls here like I showed earlier, or the ones located down below, and you can quickly get through some of the same icons you saw in the gauge cluster. You have this area here that you can use to swipe up or down depending on the mode that you are in, and then you can even go through the rest of these settings here. So it just depends on obviously which way you want to use this. You have different settings to go into. Not a whole lot of info, but it is nice to see. I do wish it was touchscreen, however. And then as I accidentally push on the camera button, this is the forward-facing angle, and then you can scroll down to look at the rest of these angles here. Now, in order to put this into reverse, that is actually the stock up top. So if I push that up, that is how you will see the camera system. Drive is down, and then park is the end of the stock there. Now, right in the middle, you have 3 lockers, front, center, and rear, 2 air vents on both sides, all of your climate adjustments, there's a clock, and then there are buttons down below to quickly get into some of this information. So it's nice to have those shortcuts as well. A little bit of storage with 2 cup holders, and then there's a few different drive modes. So you can go through all of these just depending on how you would like to drive. There's a manual button for the paddle shifters, suspension, and traction control, and then a low range, a shortcut to your camera system and parking sensors, and then exhaust and volume for the radio. A little bit of storage and the center armrest, and then of course the glove box for the rest of that information. And then a look at visibility from the driver's seat. Very open, like I mentioned earlier, so it's easy to see in all directions. Up top, there's dome lights, obviously the controls for the sunroof too. But let's go ahead, get the G Wagon out on the road. And from second gear again, here we go. Up to speed. It sounds very healthy for that V8. If you're looking for a powerhouse, this is basically the top level for the SUV lineup from Mercedes Benz, going with the G Wagon. It's been pretty comfortable too. It's very nice to drive, smooth as well. I have it in one of the 2 suspension settings, Sport Plus actually, and I'm used to some stiffer suspension setups, so even Sport Plus to me is very nice. But if I dial it back, it gets a little bit less stiff, of course. So just depending on how you want to drive this, you have an array of options and settings to make this 6-figure SUV drive to your liking for the day. There we go. I am impressed with how this drives. It should drive amazing for its price tag. And up to speed just like that. So if you're in the market for something that's extremely distinctive, not unlike any other SUV, G Wagon is a status symbol in a way, but for me, I like it just because of what it is. It's a very cool SUV if you don't factor in that price tag. I think it's definitely very cool, something unique, something you really don't see quite as much, of course, compared to some other vehicles that are on the market. But that's gonna wrap it up for this G Wagon. Once again, huge shout out to 704 Exotics for providing the G Wagon today. Check out their website, give the video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.